In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on July 19, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. San Diego Padres versus Washington Nationals. The Washington Nationals are keeping their home stand going against the San Diego Padres over at Nationals Park, with another game on tap that could swing either way as both teams settle back in after the break. It's a spot where pitching matchups might steal the show, and the crowd could play a factor in how things unfold. Darvish has long been a steady presence on the mound, the kind of guy you can count on in big spots, and he's up against a Nationals batting order that's struggled all year to cash in when they've got runners ready to score. On the other side, Parker's fresh off a decent performance, but he's still giving up too many long balls this season, and those free passes he hands out keep biting him. The Padres have shown good patience at the plate during road trips, avoiding chasing bad pitches, and they've really turned it on in night games, putting up some of their best numbers under the stadium lights. Sure, there's an argument for backing a home underdog sometimes, especially with friendly odds, but the Nationals aren't clicking right now. They're just not putting together the kind of play that makes me want to roll the dice on them at any price. Mitchell Parker's been in a rough patch, and lately, the Padres have stepped up their game against lefties in a bunch of their recent outings, making smart contact and exploiting mistakes. As our first pick for this matchup, the San Diego Padres money line is our full game side pick. Like I said, Parker's had his share of wild moments this year, missing the zone more than you'd like. On top of that, the Nationals hitters seem to be waking up a bit, blasting 5 homers in their most recent game, which could keep the momentum going. The Padres sit in the upper half of the league for strikeout rate, a nice edge that helps their pitchers control the game. And while Darvish brings that proven history, he's battled some command issues lately, walking guys and leaving openings that Washington might jump on to pile up more runs. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Baltimore Orioles versus Tampa Bay Rays. On Saturday, the Baltimore Orioles are set to take on the Tampa Bay Rays over at George M. Steinbrenner Field, looking to even things up in this series after a rough start. The Baltimore Orioles are itching to turn the page after getting blown out 11-1 in the first game against the Tampa Bay Rays, where things fell apart early. Their veteran righty, Charlie Morton, got hammered right out of the gate, with the Rays jumping ahead by 3 runs in the bottom of the first and building a 5-0 lead by the end of the third inning. Tampa's designated hitter Yandy Diaz really sparked the offense, finishing 3 for 4 with a home run and 4 RBIs to keep the pressure on. Then there's all-star third baseman Junior Caminero, who brought that home run derby energy into the game, smashing 2 homers of his own and driving in 4 runs, making it a nightmare for Baltimore's pitching staff. The Rays stumbled into the all-star break on a sour note, dropping 4 in a row and winning just one of their previous 7 games, which left them desperate for a reset. But that time off seems to have worked wonders, recharging the team and getting them fired up for this matchup, as they came out swinging strong. In those 6 losses from July 7th to July 13th, they managed only 11 runs total, highlighting their offensive struggles before the break. Now, their right-hander Zach Littell is on a roll, posting a 3-2 record with a sharp 3.02 earned run average and 1.06 WAHIP over 41.2 innings in his last 7 starts, giving them a reliable arm. Meanwhile, Baltimore's Dean Kremer has put up a 4.24 earned run average and 1.27 WHIP through 18 starts and 1 relief outing, but he's thrived more at home. On the road, he's sitting with a 5.83 earned run average and 1.53 WHIP across 63.1 innings in 12 starts, which could spell trouble. I'm putting my money on Tampa Bay to handle business here. As our first pick for this matchup, the Tampa Bay Rays money line is our full game side pick. The under has been a solid bet at 23 to 13 to 1 whenever the Orioles find themselves as road underdogs this season, and that trend feels like it could hold up again. Both pitchers have held their own against these lineups before, with Littell keeping his earned run average under 3 against Baltimore and Creamer boasting an earned run average below 2 when facing Tampa. I figure the Rays will get the better of Creamer overall, but it's not like they'll run away with it by a huge margin on the scoreboard. These squads often keep things low-key in division games, with the under hitting at a combined 30 to 25 to 1 clip in American League East clashes, showing a pattern of tighter contests. Since this is already the third time they've met this year, I'm expecting another close, grinded-out kind of game where runs are hard to come by. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Detroit Tigers versus Texas Rangers. It's the middle game in this 3-game weekend clash between a couple of American League teams down in Texas, where the Detroit Tigers are on the road taking on the Texas Rangers under the lights on Saturday night. Both squads are pushing through the second half, looking to grab some momentum in what could be a tight battle on the field. Rocker's been solid when pitching at home this year, racking up a 2-0 record with a sharp 2.35 earned run average over 4 starts that added up to 23 innings total, keeping things under control for the most part. But he's got a real challenge ahead because the Tigers aren't slouches at scoring. They're better than average at lighting up the scoreboard, and that could spell trouble. The Rangers have had a tough time all season getting their bats going, struggling to produce consistently at the plate, which leaves them vulnerable. Montero's held his own this year, whether he's starting or coming in for longer relief stints, showing some reliability out there. Still, the Tigers know how to exploit average arms like that, turning mistakes into runs without much effort. Overall, Detroit looks like the stronger side here, and they ought to handle a Rangers team that's had a hard time stringing together offense on a regular basis. As our first pick for this matchup, the Detroit Tigers money line is our full game side pick. The Rangers have grabbed wins in 6 of the last 10 head-to-head matchups, including the most recent 3, and this season they're up 3-1 in the series so far, giving them a bit of an edge historically. I get that Texas isn't usually the type to rack up big scores, but I'm calling for the over in this one, mostly due to how these starters have been performing. Kumar Rockers let in multiple runs in 8 out of his past 9 outings, and right now, he's not someone I can count on to shut things down, especially since the Tigers got blanked last night and should come out hungry to tag him early. Kiter Montero's been in decent shape overall this year, holding it together better than some, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gives up a couple or 3 runs in those first 5 innings, opening the door for more action. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Athletics versus Cleveland Guardians. In the middle game of this 3-game American League set, the Athletics are squaring off against the Cleveland Guardians right there in Progressive Field on Saturday evening. It's a matchup that could go either way as both teams shake off the rust from the break and try to find their rhythm in the second half. I see why someone might roll with an underdog here and there, but the Athletics just haven't been stacking wins whenever Luis Severino steps on the mound, and it seems like the Guardians are finally getting their act together after that rough close to the first half. They're not exactly dominating the league or anything, but I reckon they'll do just fine in this one, riding another solid outing from Logan Allen to grab the victory on their home turf. As our first pick for this matchup, the Cleveland Guardians money line is our full game side pick. Looking at how these starters perform on the road versus at home, it's clear they've got what it takes to keep the scoreboard clean and shut down hitters when it counts. Luis Severino's sitting at 2-2 with a 3.04 earned run average and holding opponents to a .219 average over 47.1 innings in his 8 road appearances, proving he can handle the pressure away from home. Meanwhile, Logan Allen's 3-5 with a 3.94 earned run average and a 1.27 WHIP across 45.2 innings in 9 games, including 8 at home, where he's been steady enough to keep things under control. Neither offense has been lighting it up this year, so don't count on a ton of runs flying around. The Athletics are knotted up with the Philadelphia Phillies for 11th place with a .733 team OPS, while Cleveland's lagging at 28th with a .660 OPS so far. Plus, the under came through in each of the first 3 head-to-head games this season, suggesting more of the same low-output vibe. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. St. Louis Cardinals versus Arizona Diamondbacks. On Saturday night, the St. Louis Cardinals and Arizona Diamondbacks square off in the middle game of their 3-game set down at Chase Field, with both teams eager to shake off the rust and grab some momentum right after the All-Star break. It's a matchup that could hinge on pitching and timely hits, especially in that hitter-friendly park where the ball can fly if things heat up. The Cardinals and Diamondbacks both stumbled into the break with spotty play, struggling to find any real groove. St. Louis did manage to sweep that earlier series against Arizona at Busch Stadium back from May 23rd to May 25th, scraping by with one-run wins each time, which showed their grit in close ones. But lately, both squads wrapped up before the break on a downswing, dropping 8 out of their last 12 games and looking out of sync. The Cardinals hit a high point earlier, sitting 9 games over .500, before getting blanked in 3 straight during a sweep by Pittsburgh from June 30th to July 2nd, which was a real gut punch. They followed that up with losses in series against the Cubs and Atlanta, adding to the frustration. Still, I'm counting on Sonny Gray to step up and throw a lights-out game here. He's been locked in with a ridiculous 79-9 strikeout-to-walk ratio across his past 12 outings, making him a tough out for any lineup. As our first pick for this matchup, the St. Louis Cardinals money line is our full game side pick. Arizona wasn't clicking at all heading into the break, which has them in a tough spot now. The Diamondbacks managed to split a 4-game set with division foes San Diego and San Francisco, but then they dropped 2 of 3 to Kansas City and the Los Angeles Angels, exposing some cracks in their game. They're teetering on the edge of slipping further out of contention and desperately need to chain some wins together to stay alive in the hunt. Eugenio Suarez took a pitch to his left hand in the 8th inning of the All-Star game, but he mentioned the X-rays came back clean, though he'll probably sit out the start of this series to play it safe. On top of that, the under has landed in 6 of Arizona's last 8 games against the Cardinals, hinting at some low-scoring trends when these two tangle. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.